get hero gear in week 1. How to get hero gear and 3 sparks this week, and 12.1 bugs and other things going through here from Kalani. Let's get into this one. I already talked about this morning, the one piece of hero gear that you can get from Delves. He might repeat that in this video, potentially. But there's other things also that he could point out, as well as some of the bugs happening in the game. So let's see what Kalani's found for us in this first week of patch 12.1. Here we go.
Hey folks, this is Kalani. Patch 12.1 is finally live, bringing us a bunch of new content and a whole host of new bugs. Quite a few quests and systems don't seem to be working properly, and we've discovered that you can get up to 3 Sparks of Tides this week, but not everyone will be able to get all 3, creating a very uneven playing field right before the new season. We're also able to pick up some hero track gear this week, and there are a few content options that are far more lucrative than we previously thought.
Yeah, I wonder if the Delve thing is the only source. We'll see.
Over how you can get some of these better rewards in the preseason and what bugs you might want to avoid. Now, before we jump in, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. The first big change is that we were expecting to only be able to pick up 1 Spark of Tides this week, but in actuality you can get up to 3, but not everyone will be able to get that 3rd spark.
Right, this is controversial.
The first spark comes from the Trailing the Xal'atath weekly quest in Silvermoon. You just need to collect 100 Fading Void Whispers from delves, dungeons, rares or treasures, and this will be completed automatically if you're planning on doing dungeons or delves already this week. The Curse Surge weekly quest from the Coiled Isle should give you a spark if you haven't gotten one already from the Trailing Xal'atath weekly quest, but some players are reporting that it hasn't been giving them a spark at all.
Oh no.
So hopefully that's something else that gets fixed pretty quickly. You can pick up a 2nd spark from the PvP weekly quests, Sparks of War Voidstorm and Sparks of War Nagtal. The Sparks
you can get these. By the way, if somebody in chat, if Jamal says it's false, you can't get 3. You have to do PvP to get one of them. You don't. It's not really PvP. It's not really PvP. You just got to do things while war mode is on. You can actually complete this quest to get the spark without ever killing a single other player.
War Voidstorm quest doesn't always list a spark as a reward, but it will give you one if you haven't done the other PvP quest first. The Sparks of War Nighttal quest shows the spark as a reward more often, but just like the Curse Surge quest, it hasn't been consistent in actually rewarding a spark, even if you do it before the Voidstorm quest, so it's a bit of a mess.
The spark is from an arena quest. I think you got options. You can do this 100 collection one. The 100 collection and the PvP. I don't think you have to do both. I think you can pick, right? I mean, look at this 100 collection one. This is what I'm talking about. You just run around on war mode and do shit. You don't actually have to fight anybody or PvP, and you can get the spark. I did both of them, the collection ones, and didn't get one. I think that's a bug, though. I think that's a bug. I think you're supposed to get it
right now, but the general idea is that you should be able to get 1 spark from the PvE weekly quests and 1 from the PvP weekly quests.
Yeah.
That lets you create a piece of spark crafted gear in this first week if you really want to, but I would probably hold off until next week when you can start earning champion and hero gear much easier. Now, the 3rd spark we talked about is a bit weird. This one comes from the Midnight World Tour quest in Silvermoon. If that sounds familiar, it's probably because you played at the very start of the expansion, and you've probably already completed this quest. For anyone who is returning for 12.1, for any of your alts that didn't complete the quest, or really just anyone else who completely ignored it for whatever reason, they can pick up this quest from Lorthamar and earn another spark for Season 2. This quest will only show up if you didn't complete it during Season 1, so not everyone can get this 3rd spark, and it creates a very uneven playing field right from the very first week of the patch, which definitely isn't ideal.
Well, I mean, it creates an uneven playing field, not necessarily for the first week, I feel like, but for the second week, right? Because you can craft shit with 2 sparks. 3 sparks doesn't matter, but 4 sparks does, because 4 sparks is going to give you that 2-handed weapon. So when this is going to really create an unfair advantage is next week, when people who have 3 are going to get their 4th spark, but everyone else is going to get their 3rd. So that means these people who didn't play at the start of Midnight and are able to do this quest will be able to craft their 2-handed weapon, which is like biz for a lot of people, next week. Everyone else will have to wait 1 more week. So it's an unfair advantage just for, for a little bit. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I know players get all butthurt about this kind of shit.
Getting 3 sparks in the preseason is kind of insane. We've never had that many crafting sparks so early before. That would enable you to craft a 2-handed weapon as soon as the season starts, or 2 pieces of other gear, which is absolutely bonkers. Now
Sam, are you going to craft the weapon? Sam, you craft fuck all. I mean, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. No. And also, I don't even think I did that quest to start at midnight, because I didn't. I got the quest, but I don't think I ever did it. So I actually can get 3 sparks this week. But am I going to craft? Probably not. Probably not.
All of this may not be intended, so keep your eyes peeled for a blue post if something changes for spark acquisition in the first week. With some folks starting the season with 2 sparks and others starting it with 3, I would expect something to change as we head into next week. Maybe players will have their 3rd spark revoked, maybe other players will get an extra spark for free, we're not sure, we'll just have to wait and see what the dev team decides to do. Curiously, that wasn't the only quest that was updated for Season 2. The Spallpool raid quest that rewarded you with a bonus roll in Season 1 was allegedly updated to reward you with a Season 2 bonus roll instead if you hadn't already completed it. Now this was fixed very quickly, so the bonus roll has been removed at this point, but it'll be interesting to see what happens to the players who had obtained that bonus roll before the quest was fixed. Will they have the bonus roll removed? Will everyone else get a bonus roll for free? What if they already used the bonus roll and got an extra piece of gear? It's not a great situation all around, so once again, keep your eyes peeled for a
if I were you, I would use the bonus roll, because I feel like they're going to take that shit away, but it might be harder for them to take away the gear. So if you have it, you're not supposed to have it. If you do have it, maybe you should use the roll. I'm just saying. Pestrify says the God Tank doesn't need any biz weapons. That's right. That's right. I actually like to, I personally like to play this game a little bit on hard mode, so I don't like to have biz everything. Makes it too easy. I like a little bit of a challenge.
Post that goes over what, if anything, will happen to the players affected by this change. Now, something else that we didn't expect is that you can actually pick up some hero track gear in this very first week. We're not entirely sure if this is intended, as it's the first time this has been available in preseason, but you don't have to do anything funky, it just seems like a bit of an oversight. As you work your way through the new story quests to unlock the Coiled Isle Zone, you'll be introduced to the Vaults of Atal'Utek underground area, which has a bunch of public events running constantly. Right. But what we're most interested in are the important quest, A Toxic Tour, and the weekly quest, Purging the Vaults. Now, if you can't see these quests, you will need to complete the important quest called Into the Vaults of Atal'Utek. If you haven't done that one, you do need to get it out of the way first. That quest also introduces you to the Altar of Corrosion, so it's pretty important anyway.
Right.
To complete these quests, you just have to take part in the various public events in the vaults, and the first one you hand in will give you a Trove Hunter's bounty map for Season 2 delves.
Very nice.
This is very unusual. The maps are usually restricted to the start of the season, and in the past they've even been restricted for several weeks after the season starts. So getting this map in the preseason week is very odd indeed. What's even weirder is that this map actually works on non-bountiful delves, something else that we weren't expecting. This is also the first time that all tiers of delves are available in the preseason, so you can unlock up to tier 11 delves even though none of them are going to be bountiful. These two oddities combine to let you get a piece of hero gear in the first week, and because it's tied to the delve system, even solo content players can get this gear.
Yeah, this is great. Just make sure you pump up your delves till rank 8. We talked about this morning. Get your delve rank up to a rank 8 or higher. You gotta redo all that. That doesn't carry over from Season 1. Once you're at rank 8 or higher, then you can use your bounties, your Trove Hunter's bounty map, and boost the loot from that. Get yourself that hero gear. It looks like Diamond says, I also got the 305 Shoulders. Nice. Bro, what do you think is the best for Blitz and Shuffle? Ret or Arms? Warrior. Man, I don't know. Probably, shit. Isn't Arms Warrior good? You're asking the wrong person. I mean, I don't PvP all the time. Retribution is just always a safe bet, but I do think Arms Warrior is really good right now. So it's kind of up to you.
For a step-by-step process, all you have to do is complete one of those quests down in the Vaults of Atal'Utek to get your Trove Hunter's Bounty map. Do not use that map until you've done the next step. You need to work your way up the delve tiers until you can run at least a tier 8 delve. That's the first tier where you can get the hero track gear. When you're ready to run your tier 8 delve, use the map, and then when you finish your tier 8 delve run, you'll have a hidden trove at the end that contains a piece of hero track gear. That is the only piece of hero gear you can get in this first week, and the Trove Hunter's Bounty maps are strictly once per week with no catch-up available. So this essentially just puts you one piece of hero gear ahead of where you would otherwise be, which is actually huge if you're a solo content player. Just make sure you don't use the map until you are ready and able to clear that tier 8 delve. If you use it before then, you won't get your piece of hero gear. Working through the tiers of delves to unlock tier 8 or even tier 11 this week should also get all of your Void Whispers you need for the Varisa Spark weekly quest, so you won't have to go out of your way to complete that one, which is nice and efficient.
2 birds in 1 stone.
The Vaults of Atal'Utek are actually more rewarding than we first thought as well. The ancient foes that spawn after an incursion has been completed can drop Venom-Cursed Fragments and Venom-Drenched Sacks. The Venom-Cursed Fragments can be combined together into a piece of champion gear, so you can actually farm way more of these fragments than we first thought, and then the Venom-Drenched Sacks contain veteran gear and champion crests. So you could potentially gear up quite quickly just by keeping an eye on the Vaults of Atal'Utek events and taking part in any incursions and ancient foe kills. Ancient foes always follow an incursion, and the incursions are announced at the top of your screen with a timer until the next one, so if you ever see that timer while you're in the Vaults of Atal'Utek, just stick around to get some more shiny loot.
Cool.
Now, if you're wanting to play multiple characters through the new content this week, you will be happy to know that there is in fact a story skip for your alts. After you've completed the first chapter of the campaign, you can talk to Orwenia in Silvermoon to skip over the part where Zul'Jan finds the dagger and starts down the path that leads to the Coiled Isle. Just make sure you don't accept the Hagar's Invitation quest and start the actual quest line, otherwise you might get stuck working through it on that specific character.
That would suck.
That's the only skip available right now, unfortunately, so there isn't anything to skip over the zone introduction or working through the new story quest.
So if you skip the skip, you're screwed. If you skip the skip, you got to go through the whole thing again. Damn.
But as soon as you've completed the current campaign and unlocked world quests on one of your characters, your alts don't necessarily have to do the quests. Your alts can fly straight to the Coiled Isle, either on a mount or using the flight path, assuming you picked that up, and then you can just take part in the new zone content right away. World quests and cursed surges will be available, you'll be able to pick up important weekly quests, and even take part in the Vaults of Atal'Utek events. Hopefully a proper story skip comes in at some point, maybe when we finish off the campaign next week, but for the most part, you don't actually need it right now. Now, unfortunately, there are a few issues with alts at the moment. When you buy a power in the Corrosive Codex, it doesn't seem to be available to your alts. In fact, the power disappears entirely, and it messes up the whole look of the screen. So for now...
I was going to say, is he using an add-on that's breaking this, or is this UI just messed up? And he just said it. The UI is messed up. Okay. That's cool.
Maybe pick and choose where you want to use the powers carefully. I imagine this will get fixed pretty quickly, though. Another oddity is that patch 12.1 seems to have broken a lot of the weekly quests on characters below level 90. You can no longer pick up any of the world event weekly quests tied to the Midnight Renown factions. These quests offered some big chunks of experience for completing them, so quite a few players were using them to chip away slowly but surely at their alt army to get them up to max level with the minimum amount of effort required, while earning some reputation or renown along the way. These quests even had their experience massively increased in one of the most recent patches, so it seems very odd to disable them for characters below level 90 in the new patch. This is probably just an oversight or a bug with the new patch merging with a live server, and will hopefully be fixed quickly, but it's something to be aware of if you are using these quests to level up. But that's how you can get up to 3 crafting sparks this week and some hero track gear in the first week of the patch. So that's it for this video. What issues have you run into in patch 12.1 so far that you'd encourage everyone else to avoid? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see their names on screen. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can find links in the description or click the join button just below the video. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful in any way, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're always kept up to date. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.
So, interestingly enough, it looks like I was right before I talked that one piece of Delve gear is the one piece of Heroic gear that you can get this week. So that'll be the one you go for. Everything else is pretty straightforward, and there's some broken shit, of course. Yeah, it's a patch. It is what it is. Nice video overall, though, from Kalani.